This is your mom's favorite show, Beer and Chill podcast. My name is Jan,
And I'm Craig.
and we would really appreciate if you would stop by and listen to our show. We are talking about interesting facts about your favorite movies, games, and TV shows.
For example, did you know that Christopher Lee and Ian McKellen had a real-life beef because Christopher Lee wanted to play Gandalf in Lord of the Rings?
And many other great facts.
We hope you check us out and enjoy the rest of your show. Bye-bye.
What's your favorite scary movie?
They mostly come at night. Mostly.
Jason was my son, and today is his birthday.
Your suffering will be legendary, even in hell.
They're here.
Welcome, victims, to the Horr-Gasm podcast. Kill the lights, lock the doors, get comfy, and prepare for the sexiest and scariest podcast around. I'm Nick, and with me is my co-host, Allie.
Ki, ma.
Welcome.
Welcome.
We are currently in the middle of fake Horr-Gasm month, but because we also got Friday 13th,
Yep.
we got a horror movie.
Yay! I
Yay.
know. I was talking to my mom about it. I was like, yeah, we're going to put out a special Friday the 13th. And she's like, oh, is it going to be scary? And I'm like, yeah, we're doing Friday the 13th. And she's like, okay. Because she said she can't listen anymore at nighttime because she gets too scared.
We're too scary.
Too scary.
Oh, no, too scared.
Super spooks.
Oh, it's too scared.
But I've been watching, obviously, because what else do I do with my life? I've been watching horror movies, obviously in my spare time, in my personal life when I have time, before I go to bed, like a little, light movie.
Yeah.
And so it's still I still feel like I'm in the horror world in quotations, because, as I'm watching the movie, I love to read the trivia and all that kind of stuff. So I still feel like I'm enveloped in the horror world.
Oh, good.
And going through Instagram and everybody's watching horror movies and stuff too.
Oh,
so. Yeah. Demon Night has been a huge one that I've been seeing a lot of recently.
Really?
Yeah. Like the Tales from the Crypt one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the one
I
that we
did notice
reviewed.
that. Yeah.
Yes, tons of people are watching that movie all of a sudden. I don't know why. I've seen it 3 or 4 times on Instagram in the last couple days.
It's such a good movie.
It is actually a good movie.
It really is really good.
Yeah. And, we reviewed it, so if you want to check out that episode, it's
Please do.
Yeah,
It's really good.
It's good. It's a good one.
It's a great movie. It's one of my, like I said during the review, it's one of my favorite horror movies. It's definitely top 5.
Yeah.
Because it's just good.
There's
good
so
effects,
many good
good
parts.
Comedy, good.
Mm-hmm. Billy Zane, you know, he's amazing. Any movie, I say this all the time, any movie that's gonna unabashedly kill a child, it's 10s for me. 10s across the board.
Yeah.
That's the staple of a good horror movie to me, is when you do something kind of taboo, because everybody wants the kid to win. This week we watched Friday the 13th, right? And Tommy, and spoilers for future movies. We're going to spoil if you haven't seen some of them. But Tommy from, I think it's 4?
Yep.
Yeah, he, played by Corey Feldman, he lives at the end. They don't kill, they kill kids in quotations because they're teenagers. But, they don't kill kids, I don't think, in this series so much.
Yeah.
But, which is fine. It's just one of those things, especially because Demon Night was a one-off. And they just,
yes.
Brutalized that kid. Didn't he get thrown through a window? Or something?
Yes.
Yes.
He gets kind of kicked through window through the magical...
Yeah.
Or the blood and blows up.
Oh, it's so funny. God, it's good. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. But we watched, obviously, because it's Friday the 13th, we watched Friday the 13th Part 2.
Yes. So we're going to start doing this every Friday the 13th.
Yes.
We're going to review a Friday the 13th movie.
Yeah, I think I've gotten us up to September, October of next year. Yeah. And I think there's only one more.
August.
Yes, you're right.
August is the next Friday the 13th. So
yeah, so
right now, I guess get ready for next August, Friday the 13th, we'll do Part 3.
Friday. You'll pay for the whole seat but only need the edge.
Yes.
In a few months, yeah. Oh my god. Can you even imagine next August? Oh, what the world will be like? Oh,
Better, hopefully.
yeah, right.
Much better.
Because like here in Saskatchewan, where we're from, we're having a spike in COVID cases again. So we're
Yeah.
getting new restrictions starting tomorrow. There's an announcement. So hopefully at this time next year, like we have a vaccine.
I'll have a PS5. You will have one
yeah. Oh my god. Speaking of which, on our episode from, I guess, yesterday, technically, we were talking about our Twitch thing. I was talking to more people about it, and everybody's like hyping me up. Like, oh my god, you guys should do it. I'm like, oh. And then when I think about getting like a PS5, I'm like, man, we could do like, these new cool games that come out and stream them.
Yep,
That'd be fun. Make a schedule. I was going through our Twitch account that you made, I guess. Just going through and adding stuff and looking, and I'm like, oh my god, we can set schedules and stuff. I love setting schedules. Oh, it's fun. So much fun horror stuff going on.
There is.
Lots of good stuff.
And it'll never go away because
Exactly.
it's in the media. It's out there.
Yes.
Yeah. Someone made a comment saying how people are now there's a majority going towards digital,
Interesting.
and I'm like, bullshit.
Yeah.
No. I don't believe that for a second.
I don't either.
Because yes, you have like you can download, you got Netflix, all the different streaming services, but they come and go.
Absolutely.
Now they have most of the Friday 13th on Amazon, which
Yes.
bonus plus, but you lose the physical copy. You don't have it.
You're right.
Because I looked on Amazon myself, like on the market,
Yep.
and they got a nice, not reasonably priced entire collection of Friday 13th from 1 to the remake.
Yep.
Including Freddy vs. Jason in a nice box set on Blu-ray.
It's beautiful. They just released that last month, actually.
Yep.
That's a brand new release, the big box set.
Yes, and
it's sold out. It's on Amazon now, but it was sold out for a long time.
Yeah, and it's got all these extra features. They have unreleased deleted kills and extended deaths, which I'm like, ooh, hello. So, yeah, I don't agree with digital being taken over because there's people who want to collect. The collectors,
Absolutely.
like me, no, I don't think that'll ever happen.
Yeah, I think that it's I feel the same way about like movies and games, not so much. I don't care that much about that stuff, but books I feel that way about. Like I have lots of people in my life, well, like I'm making it dramatic or something, but just like my mom and my friends and stuff, they use Kobos or their iPads to read books.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's just something about physically having a book and opening it up for me. Like that's
It's a
more
smell.
right.
I love buying collecting books.
And like flipping the pages and all that
Yes.
kind of stuff. And I think because my day job is staring at computers all day, there's something refreshing about like, laying in the tub with a candle and an actual book. It's just
Yep.
like a total reset.
Yep.
Yeah, I think most people at this point, unless you work a labor job, most people are staring at computers at this point just because of society and the way the world's going.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's just nice to have that physical piece of paper that you can just flip open. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's how I feel about that.
I agree. Like
Yeah, I know you love books too.
I got a good book collection.
Yeah.
I have almost every now so count as legend of Star Wars.
Yep.
I got almost all of them.
That's
Not
awesome.
the newer ones. I still am still missing, but all the older ones, and I got most of them,
Yes.
and I want them all.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
Yeah, I
This
feel
is
that.
a big talk on. We did like last episode with Beer and Charlie did the whole
Yes.
Legend canon versus new movie canon, and they're saying how the books are so many books, and I was gonna call or text Jan saying I got most of them. We should talk. Well, yeah, I like collecting books. I like to just
Definitely.
collect and have and hold and look and like nice.
Yes.
Like there's even like I know they made a few different, for like movies. There's a movie novelization. There's one for, I think, Friday the 13th Part 2. I know there was a book for it and others.
Interesting.
Yes. So they always kind of have a little difference to it, which is neat to see.
Yes.
Like, what did they change? What did they add? What did they take away?
For sure.
So.
Yeah, that's lots of my books, well, that I have that are horror themed, at least I guess, are like Stephen King books, obviously. Because I don't know too much about like other horror books. Like, I've read horror books, but
Christopher Pike.
Pardon?
Christopher Pike's. I think it's Christopher Pike.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it is.
Yeah, I need to get more into it.
There's him. There's R.L. Stein.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
he
yes,
did a bunch
of course.
But he did more than just Goosebumps. He did
Right.
actually more horror.
Yeah,
I'm sure it was Christopher Pike.
I'm sure.
He was also named from Star Trek. I could get mixed up. But I know he had a bunch of horror books, like a whole collection. Yeah, there's not really a whole lot of big mainstream horror novelists.
Like I read a lot of anime, and I read a lot of like fantasy books. I love fantasy books. And
Have you started Berserk yet?
I haven't. I know.
Why not?
I'm sorry. Oh my god. Is it horror-y?
Oh, yes. Oh. I don't know. Maybe start reading it. You'll find out.
True. You got me there. Yeah, I need to do. I mean, I've read the Walking Dead series. Like, they're a graphic novel, though, I guess. But those were really scary. Those really freaked me out. Books, we've had this talk before, too, is that books bug me more than movies. Because my imagination is wild. So, in my head, it's always a lot worse than...
Oh, yeah.
Which I found out, actually. I was telling you about this. I turned on a movie on... where was it? Shudder last night. And I was like, oh, this movie, it's a nice 1980s movie. I like the older sort of horror. I was like, oh, I'll give it a try. So I pop it on. And before the movie even starts, there's this huge disclaimer of like, this is, and it categorized as an extreme movie on Shudder. So, just be, prepared that it's, excessive violence and psychological, and people have told us that it's not easy, and it's very unsettling, so just like an extra warning. And I'm like, man, well, if a horror streaming service has to have warning before a movie, it's got to be like really good. So I was like, in my head, I'm like, what the fuck am I about to watch?
Yep.
And as I'm watching it, I'm like, this isn't that bad. So I wasn't like, I don't know, I wasn't blown away, but it was fine. It was a good movie, but whatever. And so then I Googled what are all the extreme movies on Shudder, and I'm going to slowly start making my way through them. Nice. So, that's...
Okay, so I am ordering a book for you.
Oh.
Right now, as we speak. Because
I
got a good one, a good horror book.
Oh.
It is the novelization of The Lords of Salem. Done by Rob Zombie. It's a great... It's an okay movie.
Okay.
But I find the book is so much better.
Interesting. Okay.
And you want a good horror book? This is a good horror book. And it is now ordered. It is bought.
And it's a book or it's a graphic novel?
It's a book.
Book. Cool.
It's a book. Not a novel or a graphic novel or anything with pictures. It's a novel. It's a book. And I remember I saw it. This is a couple years ago.
Sure.
And I'm like, ooh, what's this? At the library. Rented it or checked it out, read it. I'm like, this is a good book. This is pretty spooky. Been trying to find it, can't. So I thought, just now we're talking, I went and bought it off Amazon. So
speaking of that, what's the Stephen King book that's got Salem in the title? Oh, what the fuck is it? I was just watching the movie on Amazon.
I'm not sure. Salem's Lot.
That one. I tried to read the book, and it was so boring. I was like, and I read that it was like one of the best books by him, and I was like, man, I'm buying it. I even tried the audiobook. Like, I spent money on an audiobook.
Oof.
And I just could not get into it. So then I saw they just added it on Prime, the Salem's Lot, and I was like, oh, cool. tried watching it. First off, it's a 3.5-hour movie.
Is that long?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, okay, well, if it's good, not a big deal.
Uh-oh.
It is horrible. It's so boring. It's so boring.
I remember they had it on TBS years ago.
Oh
like
my
years ago.
Yeah.
I didn't watch most of it, but I remember watching the last bit, and it's like in a mine, and there's vampires.
Yes.
Cool.
Oh my god, it was so
yeah.
boring. I can't even tell you how it ended because I only got 3/4 of the way through and I was like, fuck this. The best part of the
no.
movie is that the wife from Die Hard's in it. And that's,
Oh.
yeah. And I was like, cool, that's good. She's a good actress. And then that's, like, it.
I'm sure I have it in my, like one of my 3 Stephen King movie collections.
Yes. You can try to watch it, but I'm just warning you, it's rough.
Oh. There's a fast forward button.
Yeah, you're gonna be using that for about 2.5 hours of the movie.
Jeez.
Anyways, we should probably redirect here back to Friday the 13th, part 2.
You know, it wasn't a bad movie.
Oh my god, please.
Friday
don't.
13th, part 2.
Yeah, it was amazing.
This
is my favorite one. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it right now.
Alright, so for this special episode, we watched Friday the 13th, part 2. I almost lisped my way through that. Friday the 13th?
Oh, jeez.
Jesus, Alana. Okay. It was directed by Steve Miner, and it was written by Rob Kurtz, Victor Miller, and Sean S. Cunningham.
Nice.
I guess he did the characters. Woo!
Where did you first hear about this movie?
When we watched it 2.5 years ago for the first time.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, it was in 1981, so it was literally 10 years before I was born. So I never watched the movies before that. So
Yeah.
But I was saying this is my favorite Friday the 13th movie.
Really?
So, yeah.
So I think 4 is mine. I
Interesting.
like number 4.
Yeah, the story is good in number 4.
Yes.
I agree. Where did you first hear about this? This
Uh,
was before
when I
you were
was-
born, too.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
way before I was born. But I know when I used to do my horror VHS, flip throughs, I'd
Yep.
come across the Friday 13th and I'd look at the back, and you would see Jason with the bag over his head. You had Sandra and some other guy who were shagging. They got the spear through him.
Yep.
You saw the head of Pamela. Like,
Oh,
it didn't spoil, but it gave away some points. And you're like, oh, what's
Definitely.
going on here?
That's probably how they sold it too, right? Is
Yeah.
by the VHS. So.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
And it took me, when did I first watch this? I was probably a teenager. I decided to go through the Friday 13th first time, and I think they're on TV too.
Definitely.
But they're heavily, heavily edited, of course.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what would you even watch on TV?
Well, there wasn't much swears in this one.
That's
but just
true,
the whole
that's true.
nudity, that's all. They just
Right.
would cut it all out. Also, though, the original film itself had a good bit of some scenes cut to make it from X to rated R.
Right. Yeah.
One including a full from nudity of a girl who was 16 at the time.
Yes.
The girl who played Sandra. Mm-hmm. Which I'm like, well, that makes sense. That makes complete sense. That's...
She's still a child.
Yeah. Like, how would she get in there to begin with is...
Right. I think the vetting process in the early 80s was a little different than it is now.
Yeah.
But
She didn't look 16. I'll give her that. She
Yeah.
looked older.
definitely.
But she's
Yeah.
16. And
I've also heard that argument not hold up in court, so
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it was a job, and I'm sure she didn't care, she was a teenager. She's
Well,
like,
she
yeah,
was probably
whatever.
one of her first big break.
Exactly.
And apparently she had no problem showing her body off because
Yeah.
she was going to be in a big movie.
Exactly.
So she's like,
And
yeah,
it was
sure.
just, when you're in a horror movie in the early 80s, you're basically, and you're, a woman, you're basically going to have to be at some sort of naked, some degree of
or
nakedness.
some sort of, some scantily clad, show a little
Exactly.
bit of flesh.
Because that's what's sold.
Don't have to show the goods, but
Yep.
show enough.
Exactly. Yep.
Why they do that, I don't know. That's just how things are, I guess.
Yep. May
Gotta
as
get
well.
that sex appeal.
Yeah, exactly. That's what sells, and if you're gonna have a rating anyways, you may as well get that rating.
And there's a bit of nudity in this movie.
Yeah,
And
yeah, there
not
was.
just topless. There we get a bit of everything. You get a bit of full frontal, side frontal.
Yes, side frontal
Um,
nudity from girls. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about it. Yeah, but just the one scene, I think, when the one girl goes swimming, I think that's about it.
Yeah,
Hey?
I think so. Yeah, there's one scene where I forget her name is changing, and you see it's a faraway shot, but she's putting on panties and all that. You don't
Oh,
see much,
yeah. Right.
but
Yeah.
there's still nudity.
Yeah.
But-
Right. Yeah. Yeah, this was a bit tamer, I think, of the Friday the 13th as well. Hey?
A little.
Yeah.
Not as. There's worse ones out there.
Yes.
This one, they had to edit a lot. This is
course.
also 1981, where the effects look so real that we can't have it look too real.
Right. Exactly.
Well, okay.
I thought that the effects in this one were fantastic.
I did too.
Yeah.
I did too.
Really good. Like the bodies, everything, like even the head,
Yep.
the very, everybody knows the head, and even the shriveled up body of, what was her name, Alice or something?
Yep.
Yeah, it was like really real looking. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, all the did Tom Savini do the special effects on this one as well? I know he did on the first one. I don't remember how he worked on a few of them, but I don't remember he did a spattering of them. I don't remember which one it was. But the effects were great in this one as well. Like especially when Mark gets the knife in the face, and then when
Yes.
Jason gets the knife in the arm. Yeah, really, really well done with those effects, I thought. And what was the other ones? There was a few. The spear you don't really see much.
No.
Which
there's-
is too bad. I was like, whenever I see those, I always hope for like the Kevin Bacon moment,
Yeah, that was extended, but they cut it due to
Right, of course.
just because it was too much.
Because basically, yeah, you see him like go to stab them, and then you see the spear underneath the bed, and then that's it.
Yeah.
We don't see anything else, and then the next time we see them, he's already disassembled them, basically, and moved them.
Yeah, well, he was in bed with the
Yeah,
girl
yeah, with
and had the
Sandra.
guy kind of choked and hung
Hung
up
up.
on the wall.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, which is crazy, but ugh,
yeah.
blah. Blood and guts and gore, blah.
Yeah.
Yay.
But it's great effects.
Definitely.
For what you
definitely.
see, it's pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like that's what I mean is like if they had to cut that to keep the machete kills in, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Like even the shade to the face from Mark.
Yes.
There was actually a front shot of that, not from
yes.
behind. So.
Which was good. Yeah. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite ones for sure.
And before we get into the whole everything else, the running theory with Jason through all the movies is he's a zombie. He's dead.
Right.
Like I was telling you at the beginning of this movie we're watching, I think that Jason didn't drown when he was a child.
Right.
He lived in the woods by himself, I guess. I don't know why he didn't go to his mom, whatever. And it was alive from 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
4 he dies. And then after he comes back as a zombie. But that's how I think it worked out in my head canon.
I agree
People
too.
who say that, oh, Jason's a zombie, I'm like, well, he wasn't at first.
Right.
Because in this, he's quick, he's fast, he's moving around, he's new, he's stumbling around, he's missing his jumps, his attacks.
Right.
Which I like. It's he's new at this.
Yes.
That's
why I think I like this movie so much is he's not like, the big, tough, strong, gross
plodding
Jason.
along, yeah.
He's clumsy and he doesn't have the mask yet.
Nope.
And
This
he's
is without the mask. That's right.
thinnish and and not quiet and not that sneaky and It's just good. It's just, I think that that's what I love about this movie is just the, like, almost rawness of it, you know? And especially after coming off of, like, you know, the big reveal of Pamela Voorhees actually being the villain in the first one.
That was huge.
Yes, this one. And I didn't know when we first watched it.
Oh, really?
Yes!
Oh, good.
Because when we first watched it, I'm like, oh, haha, Jason, whatever. And then when it's like, what? I have honestly almost never been that shocked in a movie. I could not believe it. How did I go all these years of my life not knowing that? But, yeah, I just love the change in this movie.
Yeah.
It was fantastic, yeah. I think
And
that's why it's my favorite.
The whole Pamela Voorhees being the killer in the first one was alluded to in Scream. No, yeah, Scream, the first Scream, where the guy's asking on the phone. I think Drew Barrymore, who's the killer of Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
And she goes, Jason Voorhees. Like, nope, it was his mother. And
interesting.
yes, it's a cool little, like, you know, everyone does, because with Friday the 13th you think Jason's the killer.
Right.
And people forget.
Yes.
Pamela was the killer in the very first movie.
Yes. That was such a good one, yeah. I love the OG Friday the 13th, and it's just, yeah, she, like, and obviously nobody talks about her, because somehow I would have heard about that somewhere. And I might have been passing, because I had seen Scream before I'd seen Friday the 13th, so I must have just glazed over that.
Well, exactly. It's kind of almost like a throwaway line, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Cool. I love these movies.
I do too.
They're my favorites.
Of all the franchises,
Same.
I really do love Friday the 13th the most.
Same. 100%.
As much as I love Hellraiser, and I do, as much
Yep.
as I love Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm iffy about Halloween. I'm just, I don't know, it never really got to me.
It's not my favorite either, and I just binge watched all of them. No, not all of them. I think I got up to 6. Yeah, I got up to Halloween 6, and then I didn't do
Curse.
H2O.
That's the curse,
That's the curse, yeah. And then I didn't get to H2O or the new one, but the new one comes out right away on Netflix, so I'll probably watch it. But, like, they were fine, but they just, I don't know, like, they don't have the same magic, I don't think, as Friday the 13th and Nightmare.
Well, I think I know why. People think that Michael has no motive.
Right.
And I agree, he really doesn't. He's just a killer. He was a child killer. And everyone's like, oh, that's so great. That's great storytelling. I'm like, no, that's lazy to me. My opinion, he has no motive. He just kills because he wants to. That's boring.
Yeah.
How many, and he's the villain every single one. Oh, Mike, he got away. He wants to go kill some more. Who's he going to kill this time? How's he going to kill him? Whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas Jason, he's following his footsteps, but he's not drawn. He's empowered by his death of his mom, which is also kind of mentioned in this movie when they're at the bar. They're talking about Jason, the legend of Jason, how he's this monster who maybe killed Alice. And she's like, you know, he must have been there. He must have been there and saw his mother who loved him and he loved her, or saw her being beheaded. Yes. And that would screw him up already. Like he drowned, never found the body. Quotation, drowned. Yeah. Didn't find the body. He just kind of swam to shore. Maybe amnesia. Who knows? But he's like, nope. I'm just gonna survive on my own. Right. He learned everything from his mom. Again, it was explained. You know, he was a special boy. I took care of him. Yeah. So he learned how to kind of survive. Because he was the camp cook. Yes. Yeah. So he can, the cook or the custodian or something like that. But he could take, you know, from watching her, from her guidance and teaching, he can take care of himself, and he did. He has a little shack. He hunts, all that. He can set traps. Like but it shows how it gives him a reason. Because he saw his mom get killed by camp counselors. Yep. He's going to just keep killing around the area because that's what he's been tasked to do.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. I like that. The thing that bugs me about the Halloween movies is it's kind of like the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And like the same weapon, the same killing, that kind of stuff. Whereas Friday the 13th and Nightmare, it's like they're doing totally different things, different locations, different,
Well, yeah.
weapons, that kind of stuff. Where I
Exactly.
find Michael is always the same area, the same kills, the same reasons or whatever. They
Yeah.
try to make some sort of a whatever story about it, which is fine. But it's just like it's all the same, and and I don't find the characters as endearing
No.
as Friday or Nightmare either. And I don't know, yeah, I actually, of all of them, I actually really liked Season of the Witch, which I didn't think I would like as
Oh,
much.
yeah.
Yeah, but I loved Season of the Witch. I thought it was really, really good. And so, yeah, and it was the only one without Michael, so that's telling.
Mm-hmm.
Surprise.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I prefer Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Over
same.
Halloween any day. And
Same.
it's they're fun movies. They're great. The kills are fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
I agree.
And it's got great casts.
So good. Should we
should-
talk about the cast?
I think we should.
Let's do it.
So, Friday the 13th, Part 2 stars Amy Steele as Jenny Field,
Ooh, yeah.
John Fury as Paul Holt. Yeah,
Mhm.
Paul Holt. Adrian King as Alice Hardy from the first one.
Yes.
Steve. Ooh, that's a fun last name. Daskewis as Jason Voorhees with the mask, or with the bag.
Yep.
And Warrington Gillette as Jason Voorhees unmasked.
Right.
Stu Charno as Ted Bowen. Lauren Marie Taylor as Vicky Perry. Marta Kober as Sandra Deere. Tom McBride as Mark Jarvis. Bill Randolph as Jeff Dunsbury. Kirsten Baker as Terry McCarthy. Russell Todd as Scott Cheney. And Walt Gorney as Crazy Ralph.
I love Crazy Ralph. He's the best.
See, I thought he was in more movies.
Me too. I didn't think he'd get kicked off this early.
I thought it was the third or fourth one that Jason finally kills him, but
And I get him mixed up with the same crazy guy from Poltergeist.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
There's always a crazy guy, and I like that.
true.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good cast. There's no Kevin Bacon, but that's okay.
That's fine.
We'll survive.
Yeah.
Not Kevin Bacon, he dies.
No, yeah, I was gonna say, do we survive? I don't. I feel like if I was in a horror movie, I would not survive. Ugh.
I don't know. I think I'd die.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I don't know about you, but I would definitely die.
Yeah.
I do not have the capacity to deal with a serial killer.
No.
And you scare me how many times a day when you come upstairs?
Just walking up, open door. Jeez.
Every time. Jesus Christ. So I would die immediately. Anybody can sneak up on me and I'm terrified.
Yeah.
Why am I so jumpy? I can sit through a 2-hour movie with people being dismembered, but you
Yeah.
walk up the stairs and it scares the shit out of me. Oh my god.
You're so jumpy.
I know.
Stop it.
What the heck?
Also, I want to
Jeez.
say a little notes here that they're going to have Alice Hardy, who was in the first Friday. Yeah, she was going to have a bigger role.
Yeah.
But because of her first role, she had this stalker.
Yeah, I was telling you
guy.
about this in the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah.
And because of all the issues with that, she just wanted to have a short, very small role, in and
Yes.
out, gone.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. They had her at
Yes.
the beginning, and then she died, and
That was it.
That
Yeah.
was it.
Wrote her out.
And
Yeah.
apparently, this stalker guy, it kind of, I don't say it ruined her career, but she was so scared.
Yes.
She stopped acting.
I've
She does
listened to
voiceovers,
yeah.
but that's it.
I've listened to interviews with her and she said it honestly ruined her life because it's so Like, it's jarring to always have to be looking over your shoulder, especially, like, when you're in a horror movie. Like, and then to
Yeah.
have this real-life horrible thing happen. Like, people are whack.
That's when you need Jason to go and just, kill this obsessed fan and
Yeah.
put a spear through his head or something.
Exactly. Machete or something. Come on.
Yeah, use a
Get
machete.
creative.
Yeah, use a butane torch and just whoosh, light him up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, should we get into the plot?
I think we should.
Oh, good. I'm so excited.
Okay, so 2 months after the murders at Camp Crystal Lake, the first movie, sole survivor Alice Hardy is recovering from her traumatic experience.
Mm-hmm.
In her apartment, when Alice opens the refrigerator to get her cat some food, she finds a severed head of Pamela Voorhees in her refrigerator and is murdered by an unknown assailant with an ice pick to her temple.
Yay! It was a good kill.
It was a good kill.
Yeah.
More little trivia here. When they did the first take, the prop guy was lazy because the pick was supposed to kind of retract into
yes.
the handle. It didn't. It kind of pierced her head in real life. Second take, they got it right, but they had to line up with the hole already in her head.
Oh, no.
Oh, that would suck.
Oh.
Yeah,
I don't love it.
no. And I didn't think that was Pamela Voorhees' head. I thought that was her boyfriend from the movie.
Yeah.
It didn't look like her, but...
Right? Yeah. But it did, yeah. And I think that the head looks so much different at the end of the movie then.
It does. Also, This is
Yeah.
also 5 years after that.
No, but she was killed 3 months before. So remember they were talking? In the... Because from the fridge incident to the end of the movie, she said, oh, when Alice disappeared 3 months ago.
No. That was 5 years ago.
Oh, yes, you're right. It was like 2 months after the incident. Yes,
yes,
you're right. You're
yes.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. God. Months and years. Getting them
Stupid-
all
more-
mixed up.
More time problems.
Stupid time.
Stupid time.
Being all jumpy.
5 years later, Paul Holt opens a school for camp counselors on the shore of Crystal Lake. The camp is attended by Sandra Deer, her boyfriend, Jeff Dunsbury, troublemaker Scott Cheney, tomboy Terry McCarthy, wheelchair-bound Mark Jarvis, sweet-natured Vicky Perry, jokester Ted Bowen, and Paul's assistant Ginny Field, as well as many other trainees. I don't remember them.
I don't remember them either.
Around the campfire that night, Paul tells the counselors the legend of Jason Voorhees, a boy who drowned at Camp Crystal Lake in 1957, prompting his mother to exact revenge on the counselors and commit another series of murders in 1979 to prevent the camp from being reopened, until she was killed by the last survivor, Alice.
Alice, yeah.
However, Jason is rumored to have survived and is now living in the woods near Crystal Lake, killing anyone who comes across him to avenge his mother's death. So that's a very simple, very, very, very simple reason to why he's doing that.
Right.
And that's the best way to keep it. Keep it simple.
Exactly.
Keep it easy.
Yep.
Makes sense.
100%.
After Paul finishes the story, a man with a spear scares everyone, but it's only Ted in a mask.
Yes.
Paul reassures everyone that Jason is dead and that Camp Crystal Lake is now condemned and off limits.
Yes.
Yeah. That night, Crazy Ralph, who was in the first one, was wandering a warning, "You're all doomed."
Yeah. You're all gonna die.
Yeah. Wanders onto the property to warn the group but is garroted from behind a tree by an unseen killer.
Yes. Watching two of the counselors make out.
Yeah, they're getting all
There's a
smoochy.
little bit of a peeping Tom as
Yeah.
well, so
Yeah. Oh, Ralph, you peeper.
Oh, crazy Ralph.
The following day, Jeff and Sandra sneak off to Camp Crystal Lake and find a dog carcass before getting caught by Deputy Winslow and returning to the camp. Later, Winslow spots a masked man in a burlap sack running across the road and chases him into the woods.
Yeah, and this is like a long chase sequence.
This is a very long chase sequence where he finds a shack before the man kills him with a hammer claw. Yeah, he runs and stops like, oof.
Yeah.
Like, I keep running, no, runs a little more, stops, oof. I'll run some more. Like, it's kind of it's almost a little too much. Like,
It's goofy, yeah.
They should have cut a bit of that out, but I think it was also to show that he's a ways away.
Yes, I was just going to say that he's quite deep in the woods.
Yeah. Back at camp, Paul offers the others one last night on the town before the training begins. 6 stay behind, including Jeff and Sandra, who are forced to stay as punishment for sneaking off. At the bar, Jenny muses that if Jason were still alive and had witnessed his mother's death, it may have left him with no distinction between life and death, or right and wrong. Which, again, this is great.
Yes.
This is great storytelling, in my opinion.
This exposition that happens at the bar is so fantastic.
It really is.
Yeah.
Paul dismisses the idea, proclaiming that Jason is nothing but an urban legend. Meanwhile, the assailant appears at the camp and kills the counselors one by one. Scott has his throat slit by a machete while caught in a rope trap. After he stole Terry's clothes and kind of was... He's been flirting and trying to get into her all film.
Yes, and she's just not interested.
No.
Yeah, she just likes to, like, be by herself and her dog.
Yeah.
And he's, like, not having it.
Yeah. And she,
I'm
she's
gonna get
fit,
you
she
one
goes for
way or
runs.
another. Yeah.
And Terry is killed off screen upon finding his dead body. We don't see her death.
No, we don't.
sad.
We just see her dead body afterwards.
Yeah. Mark gets a machete slammed into his face and falls down a flight of stairs in his wheelchair, which is a great scene.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
The killer then moves upstairs and impales Jeff and Sandra with a spear as they have sex.
Yes.
And then stabs Vicky with a kitchen knife. Which is, I don't know, that's kind of, that was the more cringy death, I think. Vicky's just because she was in the room.
Yep.
And Jason slowly came toward her, very Halloween-like.
Yes.
With the knife and stabbed her down. She's like, "Oh, you got me. I'm dead."
Ow.
Exactly. She got the lamest death, I think.
Yes. And she was such a cool character.
Yeah, like she was all getting set to hook up with Mark. And
yeah.
She was changed into nice, I guess, sexy panties. And she was spraying some perfume all over her and in the panties. It was goofy.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. I almost wish he would have killed her at the car when she was looking for a hairbrush.
Yeah.
That would have been better, I think.
Slam her head, the door in her head or something.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Later, Jenny and Paul return to find the place in disarray. In the dark, the killer ambushes Paul and continues to chase Jenny throughout the camp and into the woods, where he comes across the shack. And it's not like, because he chases her and she would hide or she would do something to try and knock him down. Like she fought very well.
Yes.
And it also shows that Jason wasn't his impervious tank thing yet.
Yes.
Yes. Like he was missing with attacks, and he would slip and fall. She kicked him in the groin, and he was hurt from that.
Yes.
Like it was good. It was really good in my opinion.
Yeah, it's kind of good watching him scuffle almost.
Yes. Like even with Paul, like when he kind of struggles with Paul, like he doesn't
just immediately overpower him.
No, it's a struggle. He knocks him down and kind of, I don't know, he just knocked him out or something, but he won the fight.
Yes.
But still, it was not like grab him, choke him out, and just squeeze his head off.
Yes. Which is nice.
Or punch his head off.
Yeah.
Like in Jason Takes Manhattan.
Oh my God, I love that one. I want to watch them all now.
Well, they're on Amazon. Where she comes across the shack. After barricading herself inside, she finds an altar with Pamela Voorhees' severed head on it.
Yes.
Surrounded by a pile of bodies. That was Vicky, the sheriff, and Alice from 5 years ago.
Yes, exactly.
With the ice pick still in her head.
It's still in her head, yeah.
Which is great continuity in this movie.
Yes.
Realizing that Jason Voorhees is the killer, Jenny puts on Pamela's sweater and tries to psychologically convince Jason that she is his mother. The ruse works for a time until Jason sees his mother's head on the altar and resumes his attack on Jenny.
Yes.
Paul appears and attacks Jason, but he is quickly overwhelmed. Just as Jason is about to kill Paul with a pickaxe, Jenny picks up the machete and slams it down onto Jason's shoulder, seemingly killing him.
Yes.
Now, with her putting on the sweater.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that in the Friday the 13th game.
Yes!
Because always on the map there's the camp and there's Jason's cabin.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can find the cabin, which always moves around the map,
Interesting.
you can put on the sweater and that kind of stuns him so you can get away. Or use it to kill him after you complete some objectives.
Sure. Interesting.
It's a cool little mechanic in the game.
Huh.
Paul and Jenny return to the cabin and hear someone outside. Thinking that Jason has followed them, they open the door only to find Terry's dog Muffin.
Yay!
Just as they sign relief, an unmasked Jason bursts through the window from behind and grabs Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
She then awakens to being loaded into an ambulance and calls out for Paul, who is nowhere to be seen, leaving his fate ambiguous. Back in the shack, Pamela Voorhees' head remains on the altar, with the Jason nowhere to be found.
Yes.
The end.
Yes.
This is a good Wikipedia because it gives you the basis, but it keeps the details pretty
chill, yeah.
Yes, so if you want to see more of it, watch the fucking movie.
Yeah, because there's a lot of in-betweens
Yes.
about them, like, playing games and at the bar and, you know, like,
Yeah.
driving
And boobs.
around and the shenanigans that Ted gets them into and
Yes,
stuff, you
yeah.
know? Like, there's a lot more to it, but that's a really
And
good,
I
like,
don't
overview.
want to, basically word for word tell the entire movie. That's
Exactly.
not what I want to do. I want
Nope.
to give you the basis. We can talk about some of the better scenes and go from there.
Exactly.
And like at the so at the end when he jumps through the glass, I guess they say in the sequel they kind of say that never happened. That was in her imagination.
Right.
But
Yeah,
That
because
would-
I was asking while we were wrapping up, I was like, they just jumped.
yeah, they did.
From, like, her getting attacked to her in the back of an ambulance. Like, so, like, why and how?
Oh.
And
And
what
also
happened?
after Jason gets the machete through the shoulder, Jenny takes the bag off and she
Yes.
coils in horror.
Which, like, rude.
Yeah, come on. And you
wonder
see
he's
after
upset.
you see why he's got half his face is kind of melty and yucky and disfigured.
It looks like the lake scene in the one before, you know, where he's kind of disfigured on the
Yes.
one side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, like, obviously they would use the same sort of model. But, kind of like the guy from the Goonies almost.
Yes,
Yeah.
Chunk. No,
No. Chunk is the
that's
the
right.
friend.
Lars?
So I don't remember.
I forget.
I forget too.
I have to watch Goonies now.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Speaking of Corey Feldman.
True. Good point. Good point.
Yes. But yeah, it was good. I love this movie, obviously. This is definitely one of my favorite Friday the 13th, one of my favorite horror movies. I love it.
I do too. This is a really good movie. It's a great sequel.
Yes.
Although some people didn't like it because, I don't know, reasons.
Very convincing points.
I know. I don't understand why. What's so bad about this movie? It's not that bad.
I don't think it is either. I mean, compared to sequels of other movies, I think that this one is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's 5 years after, but the next 2, 3, and 4 all happened like days apart from each other.
Yes, exactly.
So like it's.
Yeah, I just thought that, like, the characters were really good in this one. Like, the storylines made sense. What they were doing made sense. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. A camp for camp counselors is kind of a stretch, but you gotta stretch a bit, you know?
Yes and no. It makes sense. You know,
Yeah.
they gotta learn somehow and have a camp for
Right.
counselors, and that's a big thing in the area.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you rate this movie, Alana?
Well, this is, like, one of my favorite horror movies, so I'm biased to begin with, but I would give it, like, a 4. I just think, like, it's such a good, solid horror movie, and, like, you know, it doesn't rely on as much as other movies on nudity. There's no swearing, you know, even the gore isn't as intense as other
No,
movies.
no.
And I just think that, like, you can really tell that it's still a good movie because it doesn't rely on that. And that's why I love it so much. And I love the character of Ginny. I think she's just fantastic. Like,
She
I really
is.
like her. And I like how she uses, like, psychological
Yes.
more than like just going after him.
Yeah, like when she puts on, because she's a psychologist or something, puts on a sweater and imitates Pamela,
Yes.
and it works.
Yes.
It really does, and shows that Jason is so
like broken.
lost. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. 100%.
And like obviously not okay. Like he's
Yeah.
a deranged serial killer. But that she tried that at least instead. And I mean she was gonna kill him using it, but it was so different.
Yep. It really was.
Oh my god, recording at night.
Yeah. I'm tired too. But
oh my gosh.
I agree. 4. It's a good number. I give it a 4 too.
Yeah.
It's got the great soundtrack. It's great tense sounds. Like jump scare got both of us.
Both of us, and we've
Yes.
seen this more than once.
I know. I forgot what was happening. I'm like, oh, geez, that jumped out of nowhere. What the heck?
Yeah, and that's when I know that a sound is good because the whole movie is almost jarring with like it's always like the
Yeah.
like the whole time, the whole movie, and it's like
You get a couple slow motion parts, but that's just
Yes.
to add to the
yes.
to the atmosphere.
So the whole movie you're kind of on edge. And then as she's running away from Jason after he gets in a scuffle with Paul, she's holding the door shut and just kind of holding it, and it's silent.
Yeah.
Like the movie's silent, everything's silent. And then she goes to kind of slowly reach for the window, and Jason's arm just comes crashing through, and we both jumped a little.
Yep, because I forgot. I thought he would go through the door.
Yes.
Because that's again great storytelling, great cinematography.
Yes.
Great plot. She's holding the door. She sees a window. This is a way out.
Yep.
But if I let go of the door, he could get me.
Yep.
What do I risk? And she goes to the window and he crashes the window. You think, oh shit, what the fuck?
Yes.
Jason, he's gonna get me.
Jason.
Oh, it's Jason. No, this is a good horror movie. It's a great horror movie.
Yes.
A great sequel.
Such a good sequel. Yeah, I don't understand why it gets so much
No.
hate, honestly.
Neither do I. I really don't. Oh, because he doesn't have the mask yet. Oh, fuck off. Come on now.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Let's be serious. Like, it's
annoying.
great.
Everybody who hates this movie sucks. Just kidding. You're entitled to your own opinion. It's
That
just
is
not
true.
as good as mine.
Whoa. Sass.
Yeah, I'm sassy
much
tonight.
sass. Ooh.
Watch out. I guess 9:30 p.m. is when I get sassy.
Sass.
Oh
Well,
my god.
what about the Ichabod Kill the Flick? There's a few
Oh,
to go
yes.
through.
Yes. Yeah, we went through a few of them, but she agreed with you and said that the Kill the Flick has to be Mark.
Yeah, the
It
machete
is
to the face.
such a good, yeah. And I actually forgot how graphic it was.
Yeah, I did too. I got 2 and 3 mixed up. I thought he was with number 3 with
Yes.
the bow and arrow or the
Oh my
harpoon gun.
god, yes.
But no, that's number 3 I'm thinking of.
Yep.
But yeah, he gets a machete to the face, and it's a good effect. And he then kind of rolls backwards down the stairs
Yes.
and down a shit ton more stairs.
Yes.
And it's a great shot because he doesn't tip over, doesn't fall back. Must took a couple tries,
Right.
but he just kind of rolled back, and that was it.
Yes.
A close second would have to be Sandra and her, I forget his name, her boyfriend.
Wasn't it Jeff?
Sure. Getting stabbed while
Yes.
on top of each other in the bed.
Yep. Definitely. Yeah.
If they didn't cut that out and have it the full death, that would be the Kill the Flick.
That
but
would be
because
so
you
good.
don't, and it's a close second.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
you got Jeff on top, and she's his head is to her right side, and
Yep.
she kind of can see it's coming,
Yes.
and she reacts perfectly, like, and then down, and you can see that it goes through the bottom of the bed and blood.
Exactly.
I'm like, that's a cool scene.
It is. It's really good. It is a good kill. Yeah, like I wish that we saw more
Yeah.
of it, but
And on the back cover of the VHS, there is a picture
of them impaled.
of them impaled.
Oh,
And if they kept it, because it shows her look of shock and disbelief,
yeah,
that would have been great.
that would have been fantastic.
But alas, they didn't.
Here
Stupid
we are.
censors, they can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, anarchy.
Anarchy. So I guess,
And-
I guess that was part
That was
2.
Part 2.
And we'll see you again next Friday 13th.
In August, I guess.
For August.
Oh my
ways,
God.
but-
So far away.
I know.
I thought that there was more in 2021, but 2020 has been such a mess. It's like, maybe it's good that we don't have a Friday the 13th till August.
Yeah, we'll see how the rest of today goes. 'Cause
Right. Ugh.
2020 Friday 13th, this could be bad.
Yeah. Let's, we'll check in with you next Friday the 13th and
We'll see how it goes.
give you an update. And thank you so much for joining us. This episode was brought to you by our executive producer, Ichabod. We hope you enjoyed your Horr-Gasm as much as we did. Please don't forget to rate, download, and subscribe. Also, like and follow us on Facebook at Horr-Gasm Podcast, Instagram at Horr-Gasm, Twitter at Gasm Horror, and YouTube at the Horr-Gasm Podcast. If you have a movie you'd like us to review, this is the best way to let us know. We hope to see you again next week because we have such sights to show you. Plenty of Horr-Gasms for you to experience. Bye!
See ya.